Hi, welcome and welcome back, dear Tarot Pals. If you've just found me through an algorithm search, thank you for choosing to click on this link. We are doing a Halloween special reading today. If you are a returning viewer and you yet haven't subscribed, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It does make a lot of difference to me. If you are a returning subscriber, you know I love you. If you're following me on Instagram as well, you would know how much affection and love I genuinely feel for all of you who's been a part of this Tarot Pal journey of the past 6 months. Today, we are going to do the part 1 of the Halloween reading. In the part 2, we will cover urgent messages from your spirit guides, passed on loved ones, and ancestors. Anything that they want to tell us. 31st October, which is Halloween, is a wonderful day when the veil, as we know it, is thin. We pay regards to those who have passed on, our ancestors, our loved ones, who still love us, who still protect us, because love is an energy that never dies. And today we're going to look at what spiritual gifts do you have? What are your psychic abilities? All of us are special and gifted. I am a clairaudient and a clairsentient, but I say that because I've worked on it partially, and partially I just, was born with certain abilities more. Intuitive skills is like how I want to call it, more active. That does not mean that you or somebody else does not have those abilities. We are going to look at what side of the intuitive skills do you have stronger? How do you technically use it? How are you in your day-to-day life, subconsciously or consciously, consistently using them? And if there are any ways for you to enhance them, how are they supporting you? Any further guidance that shows up today. Of course, you can feel free to pick more than one pile. There's always intuition guiding you. These are general readings. Take what resonates, leave the rest. So there was no better symbolism I could think of than the magical, beautiful pentagram symbol. I have 3 different pentagrams right in front of you here. On the far left is, I've actually placed them. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that's far left, which is our white and black pentagram. In the center, we have a wooden pentagram. These are resin made. And on the far right is a black one. You can feel drawn to more than one pile. Feel free to pause the video and take more time. I will see you in your pile option. Welcome to those of you who picked this white and black, slightly grayish pentagram. We are going to look at, with these cards, what your psychic abilities and spiritual gifts are, how are you using them, and what guidance do we have to enhance them and work with them further. I'm going to get into tarot a little later. Let me first look at, because these are the 3 cards I've pulled to check what psychic gifts do you have, okay? So, we have 6th house, Capricorn, and Neptune. These are not zodiacs, so hold on and I will explain to you what that means. Let me just tune into them. Brilliant. This is a pile which is actually very grounded and rooted in reality, and perhaps most of you who picked this pile don't really believe that you have much magic. Okay, in fact, in most of your day-to-day life, some of you could be engineers, some of you belong to the science field, doctors. Mainstream science is what you've always studied. Mainstream science is what, you're more left brain than most other people You're technically more logical. You do have great imaginative skills. You are somebody who's ready to experiment, but you're not somebody who's more, how do we explain it? You're not the highly hyper spiritual. You don't become extremely philosophical about life. You like to see life as it is. This is my realist pile. This is the pile that is very much grounded into their duties, their responsibilities. As a personality, that's how you see yourself, at least, whether or not that's the aura you bring in, okay? With this combination showing up, the 6th house and the 12th, and the Capricorn house, which is the 10th house, of course, work is where your psychic and spiritual abilities shine the most. All of us have different kinds of spiritual gifts, like I said. Now, one of the major spiritual gifts which is a beauty is to be available, to be helpful, to be resourceful, to be at the right time, at the right place, not just for yourself, but for your organization, your teammates. Give me 1 second, guys. I don't want a call to disturb it. Okay. You know what I'm trying to say here, right? Which means the ability to show up right when you're needed at a particular meeting. You tend to have instinctual ability to know who in the team will be doing what kind of work better. If you show up in a social function and you're given a task, you would know which person to allocate what role to in order for them to shine. You're a wonderful leader. In fact, you're a leader by birth, but you don't like to lead from the front. You like to lead from the back, which means you will allow other people to speak more, to shine more, to show up more. Your psychic abilities is to make others shine. You can set up a stage for others. Your subtle confidence, you're not the kind of confident which is loud. Your confidence is more with lesser words. Okay, you're very imaginative people. One of your major psychic abilities is lucid dreaming. Some of you perhaps astrally also travel, which means that when you go to bed you have dreams. Your dreams are very prophetic. Your dreams also tell you sometimes what's going to happen. Your subconscious mind is extremely active while you're sleeping. One of the major things you must do to enhance and work upon your psychic abilities and spiritual gifts, and to draw the best out of the solutions that your higher self is consistently trying to give you, is to maintain a dream journal. Also, to ensure that you do not hamper your sleep cycle. There would be times in your life, whoever's picked this pile, when if you go through excessive stress, if you're around negative people, if something bad happens in your life, you typically tend to see a physical manifestation of it on your sleep cycle. Either you don't get to sleep at all, or you get very depressed and you sleep extra. There's something to do with a change in your sleeping pattern, insomnia hitting out, where you can be very sure that, you know what, something's gone wrong. I'm not surrounded by the right energy. I'm not feeling great where I am. Let me just try to set this a little different and see if it's better. Let me know if this looks better and easier to read. Okay. Another psychic ability that you have is your resilience, and this comes from the other world, which means your spirit guides, your higher self, consistently knows when not to quit. Okay, why is that a spiritual gift? Why is that a psychic ability? The discernment to know when is this task not completed, that there is more to go, where to be perseverant and where to let go. The ability to identify opportunities and then know which one needs how much focus and when you are not supposed to quit, no matter what, if you don't see the physical manifestations of the journey yet. Okay, you're not the quitter's pile. You can literally stay at something, stay dedicated at something, and work things through. Your ability is also linked with the, you maybe fall sick, and then within a couple of hours, within a very short span of time, within a very easy treatment plan, you perhaps get back on your toes way faster than the people around you. You know, that ability to heal fast and to heal others around you, to give them that mental strength when somebody is sick, when somebody is unwell, when somebody is feeling down. When they speak to you, when they're around you, your psychic ability, your spiritual gifts allows people to feel stronger, safer, and more healed just by being in your presence, okay? You are not somebody perhaps who speaks or shares too much about spiritual knowledge or philosophy, or you're not having many conversations around it, but you sense it in those who have it. You're somebody who enjoys that quiet observation rather than actually going all out and expressing what you think about that person, what your philosophical views are. You're actually more of a listener when it comes to spiritual journeys, okay? Let me look at this card. Castle and Escapist. Wow, I have the Neptunian energy, which is heavily Pisces. Some of you may be Capricorn, Pisces, Cancer, Virgos. That energy is very much strong here, okay? With the number 30 and 32 showing up, I somehow feel this could be also ages for some of you. Some of you who are watching this reading will go through a spiritual awakening. Of course, there's a Saturn return that happens for most of us from the age of 27 to the age of 30, where we, and also again from the age of 57 to the age of 60, where Saturn is back at its natal chart placement. It usually gives us a wake-up call as to why we are here. Some people find it really difficult, especially if you have a weak Mars. You've perhaps lost something recently, and this has not come easy to you, but that loss, again, built this psychic ability within you to know that this will come back to me again. Okay, something maybe you were also attached to. Sometimes you get attached to people and then you kind of escape. You're the pile that your higher self and your psychic abilities repeatedly will tell you when something is not good for you, when someone does not have great intentions around you, but you tend to build castles where there is not a stable foundation. Okay, and then when it breaks down, there's this energy. I mean, I don't have the Scorpio cards here, but I do have that strong energy. When that breaks down, when that falls apart, when what you had imagined it to be in that rose-colored glasses, that does not happen. What happens is you understand your psychic higher self better. You understand the signs that the spirit was trying to send you and you were not looking at. In a very funny way, and I'm laughing because it doesn't mean that it's easy, but it is what it is. You tend to learn more from your mistakes, from taking actual action, and then reflecting back instead of actually listening to the intuition when it came in at the first time. Do you know what I mean? Some of us will get a feeling, get a vibe, and we won't do something, or we will do something. Some of us will get the feeling and the vibe and kind of sort of ignore it most of the times, only then later realize, this is what it meant. It's not that you didn't know what it meant then. You perhaps wanted it to live out again more logically, more in the real world, which tends to become an obstacle when it comes to your psychic abilities. You don't always have to, which is why it's a time of healing, not war. You don't always have to go through that difficult journey of uncovering something. Some people tend to name this as, I was just curious. Were you curious, or were you playing out a trauma? Okay, were you curious, or were you playing out a pattern which blocks your psychic abilities? Journaling would be a wonderful tool for you, not just dream journaling, but journaling your moods, journaling the signs you see. Those of you who have just crossed the 32nd birthday or the 50th birthday, let me tell you, there is a spiritual upgrade coming your way, which means through your dreams, your ability to view life, how your viewpoint of looking at other people around you is going to drastically shift, and mostly shift for the better. You will start taking up more accountability. Capricorn is a sign of accountability, by the way. It does not try to shun away from responsibilities. It is heavily ruled by Saturn, which of course talks about the 6th house is ruled by Virgo. This is ruled by Saturn. Virgo is ruled by Mercury. You will start having communication with your spirit guides more clearly within the next 2 to 3 years. If you're not already on that journey, within the next 2 to 3 years, you're going to become more focused. Like I said at the very beginning of the reading, you don't seem to be currently the people who talk too much or engage too much in the philosophical, spiritual realm of life. This is changing for you very, very soon. And it is very important for you right now when you listen to this reading, wherever you are, because it's timeless reading, to start documenting your life incidents. It will help you 3 years down the line. I hope I was able to make sense there. Also, be very mindful of those who drain your energy when it comes to making you, it's one thing to make other people shine around you, but if that shine starts to take away your glory, then, it's not healthy. It's becoming toxic. 73, the number 10 or the number 1 could be important for you. This here, if you look at it, there's a child, there are 3 children sitting here. Some of you, your biggest blockage to unlocking your psychic gifts and your abilities, and let me tell you, with this psychic ability, to be able to persevere, to be able to discern, to be able to make other people feel more confident and safe around you is a superpower, because if others feel safe around you, if they trust you, they feel accepted around you, that gives you the power of people then become vulnerable around you. People share who they are around you. People are more authentic around you. And this gives you the ability to build solid relationships. But right now, when you're watching this reading, clearly there's a block to it because of inner child wounds. You maybe wear a mask and you're trying to portray an image, or you feel like me accepting the right side of my brain, the creative side, the childish side, the chaotic side is perhaps going to get me judged. If you are somebody who's sensitive and has been repeatedly told as a child that being sensitive is your problem, it's not a problem. It's not a weakness. Okay, you've perhaps shunned it down. Some of you may have moon in Capricorn, which is technically a placement which makes understanding and navigating through emotions more difficult, because there is a numbing situation that's happening, because Saturn restricts you from expressing your true authentic self. Your biggest blockage right now is to accept your true authentic self, accept your inner child wounds, heal them, and not try to escape from them. Okay, the war is over. Some of you really need to hear it. You've been through a war as a kid or during your younger years, and the war is literally over. It's time for healing and not war. Okay, being around the water bodies will really help you and heal you. Doing water meditations will also help you unblock these psychic abilities for you. Believe me, this pile can attract a lot of abundance. Material wealth is what I mean. Cars, big houses, a lot of luxuries, but those luxuries are currently blocked because there is an imbalance in your energy, which kind of holds back the potential of your psychic and spiritual gifts. Okay, you need to learn more about mystical creatures. You need to learn more about things that perhaps seem meaningless to you at a point of time, but only through this journey of discovering about different kinds of culture, different kinds of myths, different kinds of stories. Again, water, I'm repeatedly saying, is super healing for you. Okay, moving on to that's our Yogini card, and we'll come to that in a minute. That's the sadhana that you may want to attempt. And these are again, we're back to the work pile. You will get your spiritual abilities and your psychic gifts through work. And there's a long journey to go for you. Some of you have started to wake up, and perhaps watching this reading is another awakening as well. You're starting to wake up and understand that while I am chasing what I'm chasing, whether it's a big car, whether it's a wonderful wife or husband, whether it's a great job, whatever I'm chasing, the sun keeps escaping me until I'm able to plant a seed about my identity, who I am, what do I want. Unless I'm clear about it, unless I work upon the spiritual life of mine, I'm not going to be able to ascend to this sun that I'm chasing. Because every time, you might be people who feel like every time I take 10 steps ahead, with something seems to just go one step further. Okay, it's always as if life I'm chasing a mirage and it's just not coming in my place. You've already woken up when you come into this reading to know that I need to know more about why I'm here, what my ancestors are. Some of you need to really connect to your ancestral energy, perhaps do a ritual for them during this Halloween, set up an altar, offer them some sweets. Some of you may also get into, eventually in life, a business that is linked with psychic abilities, because these two cards do give me that business vibe with the Capricorn energy here, okay? Many of you have been planning to go for an upgrade, a training, a skill session for maybe Reiki healing, for maybe tarot cards, astrology, crystals, something which intrigues you about the mystical psychic world. If you have been planning that, this is a big confirmation and a thumbs up. Go ahead with it, okay? Because it will bring you money. Let me tell you, this is a pile which has a lot of abundance, which is stuck because you're not able to tap in to these natural spiritual abilities that you have, natural psychic abilities that you have. Some of you have the ability to, use earth, the grounded energy of earth and soil, and understand the energies at play of your place. For example, there are people on this planet who can touch the earth of wherever they're standing, touch the soil, touch the ground, and they can sense what's going on, what's good, what to do next. Many of you have ancestors who've had that power to be able to touch the ground and shift things. You're very connected to Gaia. Okay, you're also perhaps people who will work for Mother Earth. Very grounded, rooted energy is your psychic ability and your spiritual powers. Some of you are turning cold though. Something, again, back to that sensitivity thing, something makes you feel very guarded around others and guarded against even your higher self. It's almost like you deny it. Like, I don't have it. I don't think I'm made for it. I don't think that's my piece of cake. And if it's not, there's nobody's rushing you. Please don't take this reading to rush you. This idea of trying to explore what your spiritual gifts and your psychic abilities are is to help you slowly move towards that direction. If this reading has helped you, if it has given you inspiration, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Leave me a Capricorn sign below so that I know you watched this reading. And I will see you in the second part of this reading, which is going to be talking about messages from your ancestors, your higher self, your spirit guides. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to those of you who's picked this beautiful, one of my favorites, by the way. So you kind of know I picked this too. This and the third one, which is the black one, are my choices. I never say that at the intro because that kind of influences people. But I don't see these cards before I hit play. I love to see what messages show up for me as well. I am a clairaudient and a clairpsychic. If you're not following me on Instagram, do consider checking that page out because we do a lot of fun stuff and a lot of readings do not show up here, like the one I just posted today, the week ahead energy. If these readings resonate, don't forget to subscribe. Okay, we are going to look at what are your psychic abilities, and then we're going to look at how can you work better with them. Wow. Okay. I have Vesta, Cancer, and 11th house showing up right here for you. These three will tell us what you need to do, what psychic abilities you have. These two will tell us how are we blocking them or anything that is making it an obstacle. Okay. And I hope you guys can see all the cards. Don't worry if you don't. We will make everything visible as and when I'm talking about the cards. Okay. Wow. I cannot not look at this symphony. 13, 31, 13, 13. 31, 31. These could be some angel numbers that you are already seeing or would be seeing a lot when these psychic abilities start to pick up. You know, these are mirror numbers, 13, 31, if you could see that. Do let me know in comments below if these are the angel numbers that you are working with. So, what are your psychic abilities and how do you enhance them? How do you work? How does that work out in your day-to-day life? That's what we're looking at. Vesta is the spiritual center of us, okay? That is the earth and the fire energy coming together, okay? Cancer is ruled by moon, which is the mother energy. And then 11th house here, signifies our larger network, our hopes, our desires, our gains, our the value that we generate from the larger network, and the larger network itself could be the universe, okay? What are your psychic gifts and abilities? First things first, oh my God, you are perhaps the pile who has more than one ability, okay? And you kind of absorb and pick up skills and traits consciously or subconsciously. This, of course, is a collective reading, guys. So some of you, all of us are at a different stage of our spiritual journey. And some of us have awakened and are more conscious and are more, are able to see it in our day-to-day lives, in the smaller miracles of life. Some of us are more subconsciously living it. Depending upon where you are, you consciously or subconsciously mother those around you. People, when they come into your life versus when they leave, they have evolved, grown, and become literally massive by just coming into your existence. Cancer is the unconditional mother, the nurturer, the moon. You have come with the ability to literally make, from dust to gold. That's you. Okay, you can pick up any object. You perhaps are alchemist, which means When pain comes into your life, you turn it into power. When there is less money, you can use that less money. And somehow, this is why I say that psychic and spiritual abilities and intuitive skills are not very, you can't really always spin it that this is why the person is good at it. You're the kind of a person, you perhaps don't consciously feel aware that there are certain decisions you've taken in life which were deliberately guiding you towards the place that you are. Many of you have already tasted a certain amount of success, whatever success means to you. I might feel successful at a certain level of salary. I might feel successful by achieving a certain material wealth. I might feel successful by being a mother. I might feel successful by, healing my 12 years of chronic disease. Whatever success means to you, when you're watching this reading, most of you have already achieved one big thing in your life which you thought, oh my God, that was a dream come true. Oh my God, I've worked really hard for this. And I sometimes feel, I don't know how this gain or this profit came in. I thought I'd have to work harder. I'm going to get into your blockages in a minute because there are many blockages, but I want to first talk about this. You are one of those people who, whether you realize it or you don't, friends, family, people around you are very aware that just by being in your presence, they benefit. You are somebody who's consistently a value add to everybody's life that you've ever entered in. If somebody was shy, you made them confident. If somebody was scared, you made them fearless. If somebody was poor, you gave them the ability, not just spoons feeding. You give people the ability. You're a solution creator. You're a resourceful person. And just your presence, darling, everybody who's picked this file, I want you to hear this. Just your presence is healing, nurturing, and inspiring. And let me tell you, because I do have Vesta here, she's not always the most soft, gentle mother. Okay, she's not the mother who's going to just say, oh, I'm really sorry, that hurt you, and I hope you get okay. No, she's not that mother. She's the mother who will tell the child exactly what they need to hear to stand up again and go after what they see. Your larger network really values you. Some of you, using your psychic abilities, will attain fame because 11th house does, to a certain extent, represent fame and gains as well. There is a fortune that you can tap into by reaching out to more people. In fact, you're also the kind of people who enter a room and you perhaps wanted to not have a lot of conversations. You didn't really want to speak to a lot of people, but people are madly attracted to you. They want to come and have a conversation with you. When you enter a room, you mark your presence. And this is, intuitively sensed by everybody around you. Your journey nowhere has been simple. When the lioness card shows up, this talks about, the stretch marks and the changes and the transformations and the scars that you've had in this journey. Some of you have life path number 22. Some of you have life path number 4. The life path number 4 talks about creating a stable home. Okay, do you see the 4s here? 13 and 31. Both add up to a number 4. Many of you at a very young age have gone through massive abuses as well. And that trauma somewhere has become your blockage to your psychic ability. There is a lot more that you want to do and you can do. And there's a part of you which pushes you to tap into that big, large universe. Okay, there's a star here and this is talking about stars as well. You know that you can aim for the stars, but there's something inside you which keeps you scared, which keeps you almost rooted to earth. Okay, if I could explain it to you, it's almost like you're the alien who can go to Pluto and come back. Okay, but something around you scares you about just the ability to be able to go to Pluto. So you don't even want to think about it. So you just want to stay in your bedroom and never tell anybody that this is who you are. Okay, you do have a lot of dreams and your visualizations are your massive, massive strength. Okay, some of you just daydream an entire life and you literally can vividly live it, feel it in the skin. If you're not already using that to manifest a better life, please start tapping into that meditative trance state wherein you can literally visualize and lucidly live something of the future or something that you're just daydreaming about and create it into your life. Many of you are also going to be, if you've not already sensed it, if you know anything about astrology, the 8th card and the universe showing up, you're going to heal a lot of people either through Reiki or maybe you are very connected to animals, or you're connected to children. The generation that comes after you, the kids that come after you with this child looking, so brightly, you're going to be that cool mom, that amazing grandmother, that epic aunt, that phenomenal girl that they knew. This is a legacy making pile, okay? Vesta is the spiritual center who will keep you connected and grounded to that space where you do not lose balance between doing for others, being a part of that material world, creating wealth, but at the same time, remembering that we are not here to just do that, okay? Remembering that your soul is here to learn lessons, experience life and the creator himself at such a wonderful magnificence, connect with a larger network. Some of you are naturally humanitarians. You were just born with it. You don't know where this kindness and this emotion and this empathy comes from, but you're just born with a lot of empathy, especially related to children, especially related to animals. Some of you could be teachers. Some of you could be actively engaged in pet shelter work. Some of you could be people who have you've even worked with refugee kids. I don't know why I see somewhere in this spiritual journey of yours, somewhere in this unfolding of psychic gifts, you will work with kids from different borders and help them find a home, and this journey will heal an inner child wound inside you, okay? One of your strongest psychic abilities is to be able to listen to your heart. Do you see that heart showing up and the wings here? Your angels communicate to you through your heart space. Please make sure that you regularly, repeatedly cleanse and open your heart space. Work with the color green. Listen to heart chakra meditation. Make sure that you drink enough water. You are somebody whose intuition is consistently giving you 10 messages. Okay? You can also feel this in your physical body. Some of you are clairsentients. You physically feel when something is off about someone. You can't pin it, but please don't ignore it. If you watch this reading, take this as a confirmation. Next time your body tells you something, it's trying to speak something to you. Octahedron, wonderful card again. Some of you could work with sacred geometry, by the way. If you've never Googled about sacred geometry and the spiritual significance of it, I strongly recommend you to go and Google about sacred geometry after this reading. Give me 1 second, guys. Needed to drink some water. Okay, we're back. This card is also very representative of the air energy, okay? And I had the universe here. There's a sense of broadening your perspective, which is much, much needed. You are being asked to deep dive into spiritual books, into knowledge, into maybe listen to podcasts, maybe Google the things that intrigue you related to spirituality and mystical abilities, because it is through knowledge, it is through intellectual ways of attending classes, taking up seminars, listening to other people speak, reading books, that your spiritual skill sets will increase and rise, okay? Very important for you to nourish the ability to open and widen your horizon, okay? Widen your belief system. Just because you've known for 10 years X kind of a religion or Y kind of a spiritual practice, don't limit yourself. Your potential is mind-blowing. It is the 11th house. It talks about the larger network. So expansion of that network is again repeated with this card. I want to look at tarot now. Oh my God. Okay, we have the Hangman as we were speaking about that. Be very mindful that you do not get stuck with one particular perspective. That could be the only nemesis that I see here, okay? There are multiple dimensions. There are multiple ways of looking at something. There's a lot of victory in your life. You guys will also travel, perhaps travel to unlock your mystical abilities and take a lot of spiritual journeys as well. Your victory when it comes to understanding spirituality and unlocking your own psychic gifts and helping others to heal, and this clairsentient ability that you have, the more you can spread it, the more you can own it, the more you can give it, it is literally the victory of your ancestors and those who will come after you. I'm again saying this pile, those who come after you, you will be known as a legend for the work that you've done to enhance your own spiritual journey. You don't have to compare it on a metric of, oh, she said a legend, which means am I going to get a Nobel Prize? No, not all of us are going to get a Nobel Prize who's picked this pile, right? you'll just be somebody who people will remember. You'll be talked about. You'll be in people's photographs. You will be the, grandmom or the granddad that they look at and say, how cool they were. They did this and they did that. And that could be just a very small community that you build. It will apply differently to different people. But you're perhaps also already undergoing, some of you, a spiritual course, a spiritual journey, and you're waiting for the fruits to show up. If that is the case, you are ready. Okay, there's something coming big in your life, whoever's picked this pile, which will make you wake up and realize, I can't delay my spiritual awakenings anymore. I can't delay not working. I think unlike the first pile, which was more in denial, you're very much in acceptance of your spiritual gifts, of your spiritual path, of your ability to connect to a higher source, and knowing that I don't have to do this alone. Because you've already covered that journey, there's a big gift coming your way. There's a big shift coming your way. Oh, this talks about the sadhana. Some of you are struggling with anger issues, which can tend to be a big block when it comes to accepting life and unlocking psychic abilities. Transformation is a part of life. Don't get mad at yourself for not being able to tap in to all your psychic gifts and abilities as soon as you hear them, even after this video, and you reconsider and you reflect. Maybe you want to save this video and come back to it later. You need to have patience with yourself. You need to have patience with others around you. This lack of patience that you create when you're expecting things to happen perhaps at a certain timeline, there could be a certain controlling issue, there could be certain manipulative issues, because this energy can be manipulative as well. When you're trying to force your will using an emotional blackmail, I'm not saying you're doing it, but we all know where our shadow self is, okay? And then you get frustrated and angry and you're not able to see the outcome come out of it. It creates a certain kind of a blockage when it comes to your psychic abilities. Okay, this pile honestly can make a career out of this. You can use, and I think most of you already use it at your workplace as well already. People respect you, whoever's picked this pile, for the journey you've had. They may or may not say it to you. I think I said it already at the beginning of your reading. When you walk into a room, you command a certain amount of respect. And that respect comes from the fact that others who know you and others who don't know you can already sense this person has seen life enough. And you give that old soul vibe. There's a certain kind of a wisdom, there's a certain kind of an aura, there's a certain kind of a power, if I have to use that word, which is very evident even without you trying to speak a word. Okay, if this has inspired you, resonated with you, and gave you some clarity as to who you are and what you can probably do, don't forget to hit that like button. Leave me a comment below. Tell me what you loved about your reading. Tell me what resonated. I really want to know anybody who's seeing 1331. Don't forget to watch the November monthly reading. You get to pick twice on that, and I really, really love that read. I will see you in the second part of this reading, which is about what are the messages from your higher self, your spirit guides, your passed on loved ones. Wish you a happy Halloween. Take care. Bye-bye. Last and surely not the least, because I also picked this pile. Yay! This is Black Pentagram. And we are going to look at what are your psychic spiritual gifts, how do you work with them, how can you enhance them, any blockages to you currently. So let's look at these three, which will tell us your current psychic gifts. This will tell us your blockages. So let's just look at that. We'll get into tarot in a minute. Let's see. Wow, I have picked the Libra pile. No wonder. Okay. We are... the story unfolds. The 8th house and the Pluto. Oh my God. I thought pile 2 was big deals. And then I come to 3. Clearly, people on Tarot Pal are big deals. Okay, let's start talking. What are your psychic gifts and abilities? Relationships, darling. You are a smoothie-zoodie at it. Now, what do I mean by that? I don't mean that you don't go through breakups. I don't mean that all of you are having the best marital life. I don't mean that every relationship you get into could be even a professional one, that your boss loves you. You understand people. One of your biggest abilities is the ability to meet somebody and in a very short conversation know exactly who they are. Whether or not sometimes even they realize who they really are. You can read people like a book. Okay, and if that does not resonate, you need to go back and pick another pile, because that is what this pile is majorly themed at. You can sense other people's power, you can sense their weaknesses, you know, their overall potential. You can literally, sometimes by just having a 10 minutes conversation with somebody, understand someone's potential. You know, you can kind of gauge where their inner child wounds are. You can perhaps understand what their emotional needs are. You are charming, and you don't somehow realize that that charm comes from that intuitive observatory skill, which gives you the ability to see through more than is seen. Eighth house is all about the hidden. Eighth house is also about shared resources and occult. Some of you, by birth, if like me, because I've also picked this pile, you've always been interested in the hidden. You've always loved the anti-hero. You've always loved the taboo subjects of this world. You've always wanted to talk about things that others don't want to talk about. You sometimes even make people uncomfortable because you can come across as intimidating or scary, because you really are not scared of so many things that make people afraid to take the next steps. Some of you have gone through deep, transformative, romantic relationships, which have actually played a major catalytic role when it comes to your spiritual awakening and your spiritual gifts. Many of you who picked this pile have already awakened to your powers. You already know certain amount of psychic abilities. You perhaps already are practicing something. Maybe you're very good with meditation. Maybe you're very good with candle magic. Maybe you're very good with tarot, astrology. All these things have already started to take interest. I mean, you're watching a tarot reading, come on. You across your lifetime, some of you have had crazy dreams, by the way, and in your dreams you've had a past life that repeatedly shows up. This pile can see through the past, present and future as well. One of your main psychic abilities is that you can go back in time, see an incident that has happened in the history, and you don't know how you know this shit, and then go ahead in future as well and know this is how it will happen. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's like you don't consciously know that you're time traveling, because you can't do that in the 3D world that you're in, but subconsciously, through your dreams, through your DNA coding, through your memories, through your psychic abilities, you somehow know things which are a surprise to you to know. I will just give you an example, not because I'm trying to talk about myself, but because myself is the only way I can give you an example. I really don't know how I just could know so much, okay, about astrology and tarot from the day one that I picked it up. When I picked up the book, I already kind of knew what this would talk about, and nobody in my house is an astrologer. Nobody really, even, my parents don't even believed in it much until like I started talking about it. It's just things I picked up so fast. It just comes naturally. Sometimes I will write spells, and this is why I say this is how spirit works, and have worked, and I really didn't know what I did. I was a kid, okay? I was a 15-year-old, a 17-year-old, and 10 years later, I will come across a YouTube video which is talking about that same spell, which I didn't know exist, because when I was a kid sitting in India, I didn't even have a computer until I was like 17, and I was just doing random things, just random natural things that came to me and I felt drawn to. And you who's picked this pile have had a similar journey. Maybe you've already casted spells you don't know are coming into truth. Maybe you've already manifested so much in your life through your past life work. Okay, you guys have been psychics over lifetimes. This is the strongest denominator for me when it comes to regeneration, death, rebirth. Rebirth can only happen, which means you've done this repeatedly. And your biggest life mission in this life is to finish a particular task. Maybe you don't know it already, and for each of us it would mean differently. And of course, when it comes up, you would know that this is for me. You got to finish that task. That's why you're here. That's why you know people so well. Because this time, you're not going to... Some of you have experienced betrayal in the past life. Some of you already know something about your past life. This pile needs to go back and know about where you come from. Not all of us really need to go through a past life regression where we completely remember our entire life, or something like a Brian V's journey wherein he takes them through hypnotherapy and then they go through their past life regression. Not all of us have to do that. We just have to, and I think most of you who will listen to this file, it's a very special group of people I'm talking to right now. I have the 8 and the 8 here again. You already know what I'm talking about. Hence, I want you to comment and tell me this is you. This is a powerful psychic pile. Okay, I have Pluto 8,000 and the Libra here, which is all about people, the hidden, the shadow side. Some of you have done or will do things which the society is shocked, and I'm going to use the word shocked, not only in awe of, and over through that you will break through certain generational curses, you will break through certain ancestral patterns, and years later, maybe 15 years after what you did, others will start to understand it, others will start to appreciate it. You're the kind of a person who does things the first in that, in that generation, and perhaps become the black sheep. Only after 10 years people come back and ask you, hey, how you did it, and then you kind of help other people get through it. Okay, you can tap into this. Is a high priestess energy with Pluto and 8th house showing up here. You might have, again, like pile 2, some of you might be pulled between 2 and 3. Kind of explains why I was. You have multiple abilities, but depending upon which spirit guide you're working with, which phase of life you're in, something might be more activated than others. Some of you could be empaths, some of you could actually be very much tapped into, like I said, the past life, and you can go back and ahead in future. You can actually predict the future through clairaudience, clairsentience. This talks about outer body experiences for me. Okay, you guys literally travel through realms and come back. Your spirit guides speak to you while you sleep. You've had experiences, some of you sometimes perhaps under substances as well, which you cannot just explain happened to you. Okay, you are being asked. Now let's talk about blockages. There are people around you who sense all of these energies, right? And you're also very intuitively aware when something isn't healthy for you, but you have this Scorpio obsession of trying to play with the devil. Sometimes you knowingly get into the arenas which you know is neither helping you nor the other soul. Not all souls want to be saved. Not all souls can be saved by you. You need to know where to draw a line and back away and let them go. Some of you are also holding on to some past life hurts and memories which have created blockages. Some of you might have been witches and burnt. You might be having a lot of fire dreams. This pile might be getting a lot of fire dreams as well. Indicates of perhaps being a witch. In the past life, not everybody who gets a fire dream is a witch. What I mean is burnt by fire, drowned. You have, dreams about your death. And there's a fear in you which tells you, I cannot show up as who I am. Okay, I cannot be the person. I can't be authentically me. I can't be completely vulnerable because I will not be accepted. Okay, because there is this side of you which wants to be accepted, which wants to be a part of a larger tribe. But you got to fly, darling. The moment you're ready to let go of this fear and know that the right people will gravitate towards you, you will go through this transformation, if you can see this butterfly here, very, very soon. And let me tell you, just because I said that you're born with high priestess abilities, some people tend to have this blockage that it means I'm just going to be all about spirituality and I don't earn money. Pluto is about resources. 8th house is about shared income. You're going to get a lot of money. Some of you through marriage as well, by the way. Let us look at, I love it when spirit does this to me. I said marriage and I have the King of Pentacles show up. Some of you will marry somebody who is absolutely an opposite to you and very much grounded in this reality and does not like to engage much in spiritual conversations. Okay, like I said, you can juggle more than one thing. You have more than one psychic gift. You need to balance them and you need to learn more about them by collaborating, by reaching out to your soul tribe, by working with people who are more like you. Okay, you need to engage more, learn more. This talks about teamwork for me. Okay, you have an ability to bring people together, but then something in you keeps scaring you off from building these genuine connections because there is a lack of acceptance within you. The more you accept who you are, the more you're ready to chase your own dreams and own your own powers and speak about them to like-minded souls. You have help around you. You have people who are knowledgeable in the fields that you're working in, but you somehow hold yourself back. I strongly see a career for many of you, if not one, like a dual career or maybe multiple careers around spirituality or psychic gifts, psychic abilities, working with this side of the world. King of Pentacles, I mean, come on, darling, do we even have to talk about it? You're very grounded. You know how money works. Okay, and most people don't understand this. This is also a spiritual gift. If you're great with Lakshmi, if you're great with wealth, if you know how money works, that's a gift. You know how money works, you can save, you are generous when it comes to even charity. And that act, if you're already doing it, continue. If you're not, I strongly recommend this pile to give back to the society in whatever manners you can, because trust me, it will come back tenfolds to you. Okay, you have a very strong discernment power, by the way, which I want to again repeat. The 8th house and the Pluto, you see through people, you're very intuitive. Only a stupid person will lie to you, let me say that. And hence, because of that, you have some loyal people around you. You've attracted loyal souls because they know lying to you is foolish. Okay, and if they've chosen you, and this is what I want you to remember from this reading, even if there is one person in your life who has chosen you for your authenticity, there will be more who will choose you for your authenticity. Okay. Wow, what to do? Work with moon. I mean, I have the high priestess energy so strongly coming in here. Okay. Some of you could have a moon in the 8th, moon in Libra, moon and Pluto conjunct. All of these are very, very strong messages of being great astrologers, occultists, people who can do wonders in this field of work. Okay. Some of you also need to consistently remember that nothing in life is permanent, right? Again, going back to that transformation energy, the phoenix will rise. Whatever has happened is in the past. Excessive attachment to the past could also be what holds your psychic abilities back. Work with the moon. If you're not following me again on Instagram, go follow me, because at every full moon and new moon, we discuss rituals, we discuss things you could do. You obviously don't have to wait for a full moon or a new moon, but that's at least the base where I would start. Start practicing moon meditations, make moon water, work with moon spells. Moon is where you will tap into your psychic abilities better. Moving on to your Vindhyapada. I love how transformation, do you see 18, which is 9, completion? This is 18 again, which is 9. Some of you are seeing the number 888, 1818, 999s. If you are, do let me know in the comments below. Tells me that you've also watched this video up until now. Repeatedly through your life, your spiritual gifts will evolve and change and transform. Stop being attached and scared that just working on one thing will make me lose out on another. Sharing this with X person will make me feel vulnerable. You have no idea the potential that you have. People won't be able to touch you, if I have to say that in a simple language. I mean, you are over and beyond, and spirit wants to come in and really push you to understand that you don't have to stick to one norm. Okay, Vindhyapada is all about transformation. She is ready to bestow her blessings on you if you're ready to understand that you would repeatedly learn something, execute it, be done with it, master it, move to the next. Okay, so you don't have to get into that, because Libras have a FOMO problem. Okay, if I do this, I'll miss out on that, and if I miss out on that, then I'm not. Pick anything, darling. Pick anything. Look at the juggler energy that shows up for you. Okay, you have infinite potential when it comes to psychic and spiritual gifts. All you have to say is say a yes to life. Say a yes to your abilities and fly. If this has helped you, if this has resonated, inspired you, hit home, don't forget to hit like, don't forget to hit subscribe. I love you guys for your continued support. I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Bye-bye.